Good afternoon, people. I am going to demo the Catalina Destination 39 FKTS today. A customer has purchased this. It's already bought and paid for. It's being delivered down to Florida. Hopefully they enjoy it. It's such a nice floor plan. It is a destination model, so it's meant to be parked and stay where it goes. It is the 2023 model, so it's got some upgrades to it from before. So I'm going to get started on the front. We're going to work our way around. I'm doing this video with my iPhone, so hopefully it turns out good, the video. If not, I apologize. I don't do the editing or anything like that. I simply do the demos like I would if you were standing right here with me and we were going over the unit. All right, so up front here, we do have a manual tongue jack here. The main reason being that it's a park model. There's really no need to have an electric one. If you wanted to change that out to electric, you can certainly do that. It's not that hard. There's 3 bolts holding this on, so you have to jack it up, remove this, and then pop the electric one on here if you choose to do that. Behind it, you have 2 20-pound bottles, both of which are full. It does have an automatic switchover. So the notch right here is pointing to this LP bottle because this is the one it's drawing off of. If both of them are open, when this one runs out, it will flip over and draw off of that one by itself. Some people like that, some people don't. A lot of people will leave one off. That way when, say this one goes empty, this green that's right here will turn red. Lets you know this is empty. Hey, you need to get this one filled. And then you can manually move that over to here and turn that one on. All right. So the one thing I do want to remind everybody is these bottles are good for 10 years. The reason that's important is because they're 20-pound bottles. Most places you go to will want to just simply exchange them. They could be giving you a 7 or 8 year old bottle and you're giving them a brand new one. So just, if it were me, I would just be getting them filled. If this is going onto a permanent site, if the park will allow it, you could certainly put like a 100-pound tank here. It would last a whole lot longer. But considering this is going down to Florida, you're not going to be using the furnace much. You probably will a little bit, but it's not going to chew through as much LP as it would if the furnace was running a lot in the wintertime. There's the cover for it. That's going to go over the top of it. There is a way that you can get to the top of your LP just by opening the lid. This is going to be screwed down for you. Behind that is a battery. It's an interstate battery, marine grade wet cell battery. So every now and again you do want to take the top off of that, check the water levels in the battery, make sure that there's water in it. If you don't see water in it, it's just distilled water. Just pour it in there and put the cap back on. Below that, or behind it I should say, is your battery disconnect. The battery disconnect really is if you're going to put this into storage, you're not going to use it for a while, go ahead and turn that off. All right, shuts the power down coming to and out of the battery. All right, so we're going to move around to the side here. Right here on the corner, you have a 10-gallon water heater. In the corner is the on and off switch. That's the on and off switch for the electric side of your water heater. The propane side of this, the switch is inside. Up here is the reset. So these 2 things right here, if you have a power surge, something happens and it pops your breaker, you go to use your hot water and you don't have any, come out here and check that. If those 2 things are bubbled out, then that means you probably had a power surge and it popped your breaker. You're just going to come out here, push them in and reset it. The only other thing here is right here is your drain plug. It's an anode rod. So every once in a while, you are going to want to pull that out and see how it looks. The water, the impurities in the water, I should say, will chew away at that instead of your water heater. So it is a sacrificial piece. It's something you'll have to replace every now and again. When you ratchet that out, make sure you're pulling the relief valve, get the pressure off of it. That way water doesn't spray everywhere. And also, please make sure the water is cooled off before you do that. This water gets very hot. I don't know that it would burn you, but it's very, very hot. So please just let it cool down before you pull that out. Sounds like common sense, but you know, not everyone has common sense. This is the exhaust for the furnace. That's what's going to get really hot when your furnace is running. The metal there is going to get hot. So just be aware of that. Another thing that you can purchase for this would be a screen. It just hooks onto it. You can leave it on it. It's not something you have to take on and off, but it's going to prevent the bigger bugs and stuff from getting in there. So, and then you have your low point drains down there. As we go around, you have your cable or satellite. You're going to get cable or satellite for inside. That's where you're going to hook it up. You have a plug in here too if you decide to plug a TV or something like that in out here. This little hole right here in the J-wrap. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on the camera. Right back there, that little nut looking there. That is the override for the slide out on the opposite side of this, the living room slide, which is that slide right there. You're just going to put your tool on it, which you have underneath. You're going to put it on there and you can crank it in. It's actually very easy to do. It's a big slide. It sounds like it would be hard to do, but it is not. It's actually very easy. You have 3 of them. So you've got that one, there's one on the middle and one at the end for all 3 slide outs. All right, moving along here, you do have an awning here. I have the lights set just to change color, just so you can see the different color variations. But it's a decent size awning here. Goes out pretty far. Okay. And it is electric, so of course it's not a manual one. You do want to pitch this awning if it's going to rain, and if it's going to be a big storm, you're going to want to bring this awning in, mainly because the wind will grab a hold of it and rip that awning right off the side of your camper. So if it's going to be really windy or a big storm's coming through, bring this awning in. And you also have a little porch light there. It's always nice. All right, there's your second entranceway. Down here you have a leash link. It says it can hold up to 1,500 pounds, so if you want to tie your dog up to that or something, you can certainly do that. That's what it's for. Back here you have your bumper. This is where your sewer hose is going to store. I know a lot of the stuff that I tell you guys, you already know if you've already had a camper. I tend to treat everyone like they're brand new to it, just so that I may go over something that you didn't know or something maybe you've been doing wrong. Right here, you have, in this one, now I'm so sorry, we're so close to other units here, but we're okay, we're not going to hit anything. But you have 3 slide outs on this. All right, there's the other 2 down there. All 3 slides have a rubber seal that goes all the way around it. All the way around it. So what they want you to do, the manufacturer says that you're going to check the rubber around these slides once every 3 months. What you're looking for is you want to make sure it stays soft and movable. If it starts to dry out, it's going to get hard and it's going to break and crack, get a hole, and the weather out here comes inside and it's not giving you a good seal. These slide outs are meant to go all the way in or all the way out. If you find yourself in a spot that you can't pull the slide all the way out, you need to shift it over, unless you plan on leaving the slide out in all the time. If it's only halfway, the seal going around it is not doing its job. But just get yourself some rubber conditioner, you spray it on, it foams up, you can wipe it off, or you can just simply let it be once you spray it on. Down here, the tracks that the slide outs sit on, they do need lubrication. Do that at the same time you do the rubber on your slide out. A dry lube, like a lithium based or a silicone based lube, is what they want you to use. You're just going to spray the teeth down and run it in and out a couple of times. The one thing they don't want you using is WD-40. WD-40 is good for greasing up something that's squeaky, but other than that, they don't want you using it. Everyone always asks what those are, the bolts hanging down. That's simply for a tech to readjust the slide out if needed. So there's nothing that you need to do there. Moving around, you have your storage under the bed. You have a box there. The box with the zigzags on it, those are storage boxes inside of that. You've got a few of them in here. You can put them wherever you'd like. And moving on down, you have your wastewater holding tank here. Of course, for the bathroom, you have your black tank and you have your gray. The black handle, they want you to pull the black first for the toilet, and then you're going to rinse the sewer hose out with the gray handle. This particular unit does have a black tank flush, so it's not quite as important that you do it in that order, because the black tank flush will also rinse out your sewer hose. So really, you can do it however you want in this case. The one thing we don't want you to do, we don't want you to hook your sewer hose up here, put the other end to the ground, and then leave the valves open, thinking that, you know, that stuff's just going to dump straight into the sewer and you don't have to worry about dumping your tanks. What actually happens is, just kind of think about the black tank here for a second. The only thing going through that sewer hose is liquid. So everything else is staying behind and drying to the bottom of your tank, and it's making a nice little pyramid in there. Also, the second thing that happens is the sewer gases now have a way in. You can hook your sewer hose up if you want to. Just leave the valve shut until they're about 2/3 full. That seems to be the magic dumping point where gravity will take over and empty out your tanks. Please just keep that in mind. Also, don't skip the toilet treatment. The toilet treatment is going to help deodorize the tank, and it's also going to break everything down so it's not all bulky and clogging up your tank. Every time you dump your black tank, you're going to close your valve, you're going to go back inside and put another toilet treatment down the toilet with about 1 gallon of water. That's what it takes to activate that toilet treatment. When you're using the black tank flush, the black tank flush is right there, the black one on top. There's the white on the bottom, that's your city water. The black on top is your black tank flush. When you're hooking your hose up to that and you turn the water on, make sure that that black valve is open. When you're using the black tank flush, it's building a lot of pressure up in that tank, and it could very well come out the vent on the top of your unit or overflow in your toilet all over your bathroom. That's a big mess, and that's actually the main thing that's been happening with these. People leave them shut thinking they're going to fill their black tank up with a bunch of fresh water and then do a big old dump. And that sounds like a good idea until you walk away and forget about it, and then it comes out of your toilet all over your floor. Okay, so just be safe, leave the valve open, that way nothing bad happens. I do recommend getting a clear connector that goes right here on the sewer, so that when you see the water running clear, that's how you know it's clean. Okay, moving on. This is going to be the cable for if you're going to buy part cable for the whole inside. The one on the other side is if you're going to bring it outside, bring a TV outside, that's where you would hook to the cable. And this is for the inside of the whole unit. It's on this side where your slide outs are. So I know we already talked about the black tank flush, so there's that, your city water connection. I know you guys know how to use this because you've had a unit before, but the one thing that people always want to forget about is a water regulator. Campgrounds, the water pressure is unpredictable at times. So we always want you to be using a water regulator. These are set to be around 40 to 50 PSI. If it's any stronger than that, it could very well blow your lines apart. Obviously, we don't want that to happen. Water regulator, all right? Drinking water hose. Drinking water hose, because the garden hose, when we were kids, that was fine, we didn't care. But as adults, we know now that they hold bacteria, can make you sick. Plus, it doesn't taste very good at that point. An inline water filter is always a good idea. So you could just get a water filter, hook it up here with your water regulator, and then your hose. Whatever order you want to do it in. It really doesn't matter as long as you have one on there. Here, oh, I forgot to put this back up here. You have your outdoor shower. It's got hot and cold running water. All right, you can hook it up there and leave it there. They say this is for kids and dogs, but since this is going to Florida, this is a really good thing to have to rinse the sand off your feet. Because we all know, no matter how clean you are, if you've been in sand, you're going to carry that sand around for about 5 years. It never goes away. So anyway, again, it's got the hot and cold running water right there. Okay, I think the only other thing we have over here to worry about, you do have a separate connection. This is a front kitchen, so this is going to be your second sewer outlet for just the gray tank in the kitchen sink. That's it. That's all it's for. So there's that. And then up here, you have your fresh water. The fresh water, of course, is going to be if you don't have city water hookup and you're dry camping, you can fill this up. And down where you guys are at down there in Florida, it may not be a bad idea if you know you have a storm coming and it could potentially knock power out or interrupt your service for water. Go ahead and throw a hose in there and fill that up. And then that way, if you do get to a point where a storm's come through and you guys don't have access to water, you at least have this water. Just an idea. Underneath here, that back there is the drain for your fresh water. Right now you do have a full fresh tank, and I'm going to be dumping that because when the transporter comes to pick this up, we don't want any water in that tank for travel. Okay. And I think over here, the only other thing left on this side to even talk about would be right there, the stickers right there. That's just giving you your VIN, where your tire pressure should be. It looks like 80 PSI is where your tire pressure should be. And that's it. I mean, it's got your weights and all that there. All right. So now we're gonna go inside and go over that stuff in there. And as always, all of my customers have my phone number. You are always welcome to call me if you have any questions. Sometimes I'll be able to help you, sometimes I won't. Most of the time, if I don't know the answer to something, I can always find out. You hear the music? Well, the radio. You have an outdoor speaker here and down there. It's a JBL. So nice. There's the other one. All right, I'm gonna pull the awning in real quick. We have somebody gonna have to try and come through here with the forklift. I don't want your awning to get hit. Right here is your control panel. So I have it extended. I'm now gonna retract the awning and bring that in. That way it doesn't get hit. All right, so this monitor that you have right here, obviously everything's electronic on it. As soon as you walk up to it, right there is a motion detector. So as soon as you walk by it, it's going to light up for you. It's going to show you how full your tanks are, how charged your battery is, all that good stuff. You have an interior light, exterior light, water pump, and water heater. The water heater is going to be the propane side of your water heater. Right now, I simply have it on electric. There's no need to put it on propane. I don't want to use up any of your propane if I don't have to. Again, 2/3 seems to be it's in the magic dumping point. So right here across the board, that would be a good time to dump these tanks. Your black tank, the gray 1 and gray 2. Gray 1 is your bathroom, right there with your black tank. Gray 2 is your kitchen. You have a switch here, and this is a switch for that refrigerator. All right, that's how you can turn it on and off from the wall right over here. You have your solar charger here. Right now, the charger controller is already set to the wet battery. Oh, can you see it? Okay. Because that's the kind of battery we have on here. There's really not a lot for you to do with this. There is an owner's manual that comes in your packet for this. So if you have questions about it and you want to change anything on it, just grab that and you're good to go. This right here is a switch for your ceiling fan. Yay! It moves quite a bit of air actually. So there's that. Alright, and then of course you have a GFI protected outlet right here. Down here we have your fire extinguisher, and right here we've got your LP CO detector. Please pay attention to that. If that thing's going off, it's a possibility you have a propane leak. If that's the case, you'll smell the propane, of course, but it's also a CO detector. The CO you cannot smell. Whatever is causing that to go off, you'll see there's a light here where it says CO and a light here that says LP. If either one of those, if this thing's beeping and either one of those is blinking red, then that's what's causing the problem. It's either going to be an LP leak or CO. Get out, leave the door open, turn the propane off, but do pay attention to that. However, there are a few things that's going to set that off besides propane or CO. Any aerosol spray in the air is going to set it off. So, if you like to cook with Pam, if you spray Febreze, Lysol, anything like that that you spray in the air, it's going to set it off. All right, so if that thing goes off during the day, stop and think about what someone just did. Chances are that's why it's going off. Here we have your really big refrigerator. It's so nice. It will run off the battery if needed. So if you lose power, this will continue to run. All right, so up here is how you're going to put the settings where you want it to be. If you want to put it on standby mode, you're going to hold this, push it for 3 seconds, and it's going to go into standby mode. If you do happen to lose power and you need this to run off your battery, my suggestion would be to put it on 1 or 2 so it uses the least amount of power but still keeping everything cold. And of course, don't open and shut the refrigerator door 100 times, letting all that go. Typically when you pick up all this cardboard and tape and all that's not in here, but because this is being delivered, they decided to leave it in there so that none of these break in transit. So you got that, and then you have your freezer. It's nice and big. It's already cold, and I just turned this on not that long ago either. But you can control how cold that gets back there. And then you have a lock, a travel lock. So this, you just push it over, and now this will stay shut during travel. That way if you have any food in there, it's not going to come falling out during travel. You can use it to prop the door open as well if you'd like. So if you just pull that over and then close the doors to it, now, well, we're not level, you guys, so it's going to keep coming open, but it can prop the doors open so no mold or mildew if you're going to put this in storage. Alright, so close this and lock it for us. Alright, moving on. Microwave. It's a microwave. That's it. It does have a popcorn button. So, right there. So, other than that, that's all you really need to know, I guess. So, over here, moving the papers out of the way, you have your 3 top burner. This is a cover that goes over it. Please don't cook on this. This is only intended to give you extra counter space, okay? It's not meant to be cooked on. So, you're just going to flip this back like that. Leave it stay. And then here, now I have not fired this up, so hopefully it fires right up for me. There we go, good deal. You're going to put it on high and then click. And there that is. Alright, so turn these off. Wait for the grates to cool down before you pull that back down. This little button here turns it on and off, the light on and off. It'll still work if the light's not on. It makes for a pretty good night light, actually. It's not bad to have. Now, when it comes to the oven, like I said a minute ago, I did not fire this up at all before. The main reason I didn't do the oven is because I want you to see what it's actually going to be like in real life. When we did the top here, I just put it over on high, clicked, it came right on. The oven is not going to do that. The oven is going to take quite a few more clicks than just one. I don't want you to think it's broken because it didn't fire up right away. So what you do here, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it holding the phone while I do this, but right here, you're going to push this in where the flame, the picture of the flame is going to line up with that arrow. You're going to hold it in for a few seconds, and then you're going to come over here and start clicking, because what we're going to do is back here, you have a pilot light. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get it fired up and show you, okay? But I want you to hear the clicks that I have to do to get it going. 1, oh, okay, well, it made me a liar. It actually did it on the first try. It's lit. All right, so you're going to hold it for a few more seconds, let go, put it on temperature. And it's fired up. Okay, So one thing to keep in mind when it comes to the oven is that these things are notorious for burning. It's a small oven and propane runs very hot. So anyone who's ever used theirs already knows that you have to reduce the temperature and keep an eye on it. In the summertime, or when the weather really starts to warm up, when you're using the oven, it's going to heat this kitchen area up really good. So just be aware it's going to get hot in here if you use the oven. So that's always my suggestion. Just keep an eye on it, reduce the temperature. If it says to put it on 400, maybe try 375. And just keep an eye on it. That's it. That's the main thing. All right, so we're going to turn this off. We're going to put this down. Anytime you're cooking, moisture inside of a camper is a bad thing no matter what. So you're always going to want to turn that fan on when you're cooking. Get the steam out of here. Right, there that is. And you have a little light here that's already on. Right? All these papers, all this came in this bag. This is all of your appliances and a couple of other little things. But all of your appliances, the paperwork for it is here. Please go through it. If it tells you to register it, just register it. Don't give them an excuse to not cover you. They're really good about covering warranty stuff, but you always have that one-off, that'll say, well, you didn't register it, so they're not going to cover it. Just register it. Don't give them an excuse, all right? You have a charging station here, and something that they've just recently started doing is they have your regular one, but now they have the C port too. So doesn't matter which kind of charger you have a place to plug it in, and these chargers actually work really well. All of your outlets are going to be GFI protected, and I'm going to show you where that GFI is, okay? You have your blinds that go around all your windows. They were simply push up and pull down. When these get loose, and they will, no doubt about it, the string on either side, all you have to do, whatever side's loose, you're just going to pull this string down tight, and then you're going to wrap it around that, and it will tighten it up for you. All right, and trust, like I said, it will get loose. It's not a matter of if, it's when on that end. All right, and you also have a light switch over here for your lights that are up there, and another outlet and another charging station. I don't know if this is going to show through on the video, but I do always like to show you that your hot water is working. Here, I've had to show this to people before because they get up here and they start doing this and they're saying, the water doesn't work. Pull it out like that, okay? This, you also have a pot filler, all right, and pull that down. And it's also a sprayer. I'm trying to see if we can get because the water heater itself is right here outside, right there. So it does not take long at all. I don't think it's going to show us the steam coming up off of there, so I can show you, but it is hot. It's very hot, actually. So there it is. I tried to get it to show you. This, of course, is your dinette. Each one of the chairs has storage underneath. I like that. I have the chairs strapped in down there. That way for travel, the chairs don't go flying around everywhere. I'll tighten those down. That actually looks like it needs to be tightened a little bit more. But, so there's that. Here is your couch. It is a trifold couch. How you're going to do this, I'm not going to be able to do anything about one-handed, but you can take these off, all right? And then you pull this out, and the back here goes down, and it finishes off the bed. All right, there's that. The flooring here, I was very concerned about it looking like this. It's a little wrinkly, but they said it was because it was the slide was in so long. It caused that, and over time, this will straighten itself out. If it doesn't, it might be something that they have to come in and straighten out for you. But I think once it heats up a little bit more, it will straighten out. All right. Here you have your TV. The TV is on, I know, with the lights on. Here, let me turn the light off, see if that works. No, not really. All right, so your TV is on. The channels that we're getting right now are just off the antenna. You can always rescan, because the channels we get here obviously are not the same channels you're going to get down there. So scan the channels on the antenna to pick up the channels that are in the air. It actually picks up a lot of channels, so local anyway. So it all depends on your area. Down here you have a JBL stereo, so nice. The sound quality is so good. So the speakers that we heard outside is Zone B. Zone A is in here. And you have 2 speakers in here. One there and one there. Okay, it's really nice sound. The JBL is such a good system. You have your A in here, B outside. You can put it on Bluetooth, all that stuff. So everything that you can do on the stereo, you can also do on the remote, right here. So, and then here's your TV remote. So of course it comes with that. I'm gonna turn that off. You can, there's little, I don't know if you can see it, but there's lights coming on and off on there, different colors. It's kind of cool. I kind of like it anyway. Anyway, so right below is your fireplace, and the sun is hitting just right where you can't really see that it's on. Can you see it? No. Okay. So it is on. I don't have the heat part of it going. You can do everything right here on this remote. However, if you lose the remote, you can do it from right here. All the buttons are there if you need to do that instead of using your remote. But you can change the coals on the glass on the bottom there, change to different colors, the flames. You can put it on a high flame, low flame. The heater part of it is high, low, and off for fan. So it's an electric heater. It does such a good job. It actually gets very hot in here just off of that. It's a really, really good space heater. People love them. This other remote is, that's how you're going to change the lights on your awning lights. So out here, I don't know, again, because of the sun being where it's at, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you, but right on the corner, you'll see it better when the awning's out. When you get it and the awning's out, there's a little eye to the lights that kind of hang out a little bit. You point this remote right at it, and you'll be able to change the color of your awning lights. I don't know, it's probably not showing you much here, is it? Well, anyway, you can change it to different colors to where it just stays one solid color. It can fade from one color to the next, whatever. It does a lot, actually. So, moving on, the bunk room. This is such a good room. You have the bunk bed on top that can push up. Oh, wait a minute, what am I doing? Ah, it was locked, see? It's locked in place, which is how it's going to be when it gets sent to you, so don't forget to unlock it. And then push it up, and then you can lock it in place there. So when you get it, it's going to be there, locked in place on both sides, and then you can bring it up, lock it in place on both ends. That way if somebody wants to sit down here, they can without hitting their head. All right. You have lights on each one, just right there in the center. Turn them on and off. This one's got a charging station there. Both of these cubes here fold all the way out to make either 2 beds or 1 great big bed. You have your emergency exit back there as well, behind that window. Over here, you have a cable hookup, and of course a plug-in for a TV. And you've got all that storage. It's so good. The storage in this is really good. Usually the bunk rooms don't get much storage, but you have a closet and everything in here. So there's that. You have a good AC in here. It actually feels really good. It's warm up here today, which is so weird. It's November. I'll take it though. I'm not mad. All right, so right here is your furnace. Well, I'm sorry, your furnace and your AC and your fans. It's the thermostat. So all you're really going to do here is where it says mode, you're going to tell it what to do. So right here, it's going to kick over onto the furnace, and it works. Trust me, it will bake you out of here. Now keep in mind this is new. So when that furnace kicks on, it's going to have that new furnace smell. It may even set off your smoke alarm. Just, if it were me, I would take a nice day, turn it on, let it run, get that new smell out of it. That would set off your smoke alarm. You know, open doors, open windows, let it air out some. All right, so that's the off position, of course. But you have your fan, and then auto cool, and then you can change your fan speeds. Auto is a really good place to put it. That way it comes on and off as needed. And then, of course, you've got your temperature up and down. All right, and then you have a light switch here. This is for the hall lights. Okay, you've got a couple of windows here. I just have the window shades down to try and keep some of the glare off. You got your long hallway going down here to the bathroom. All right, look at your shower, you guys. It's so nice. It's such a big shower. You have a little seat back here. Oh, it's nice and cool back in here. Good deal. Okay, so there's your shower. Most of the time, that shower head, that's the first thing people get rid of just because it's not great. But it works. All right. Make sure, well, I guess you don't really have to make sure once you have it parked, but right here is the lock. When you get it, you're going to pull that up. Now it's tight, okay? Oh, geez, am I going to be able to get it? Oh, I think it needs to come up. What am I doing wrong? Oh, there. It was it was child-proof. I guess that's why I couldn't get it. This slides, that's new. This slides back and forth to lock it in place. All right. So when you get it, just remember to do that. Here, hold on. I gotta grab a hold of it, I think. What is going on here? There we go. Jeez. I acted like that was brain surgery or something. There we go. All right, so your toilet. It's nice. It's big. This is a big toilet. Now, it is plastic, so don't plop on it too hard. But halfway down, it's a foot flush. So halfway down, puts water in it, and all the way flushes. There's still going to be just a tad bit of antifreeze in the lines. It was winterized. They de-winterized it to test it. And then it's going to still have a little bit of pink antifreeze in it every now and again. Just pay attention to that, I guess. Over here is the GFI outlet, right there. Just like at your house, if things that are plugged in suddenly stop working, come in here and check this. If this is poked out, you're just simply going to push it in and reset it. You have a light switch in here. And then you have your fan there. Of course, you're going to open it and you're going to turn it on right there in the corner. Whenever you're taking a shower, turn that fan on. You have really good storage in here. Deep. It's really deep, actually. A lot deeper than it looks. And just a little bit under here. Not a whole lot, but you got some water lines you got to work around. And medicine cabinet. Your plug for the sink is here. Put it right in there for us. All right. Okay, almost done, I promise. I know this video's almost 40 minutes long already. All right. That's your screen door. We're not supposed to travel with the screen door in place where the sliding glass door is, but here it is. You have reading lights above right here. And then you can move it around, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to see how it moves. Yeah, you can move it like that. You have charging stations there. You got one on the other side. The same light, reading lights over there. You have cable TV hookup here. Charging station. Not real sure why they put it there, but there it is. Another plug-in. And then down here is your converter. So all of your breakers and fuses are in here. Oh, geez, here we go. I always struggle opening these. Here we go. There it is. Okay. So, breakers and fuses. Everything's labeled, telling you what it goes to, albeit it is written upside down. They must have wrote it and then put it in, and the words are upside down, but they go to the right thing, I promise. If one of the fuses blow, A little red light's going to come on next to the fuse that's blown, so you'll know which one to pull and replace. Please make sure you have these on hand. One fuse could knock all the power out, or half, not all of it. Half of the coach could get knocked out of power because of one fuse. A lot of the times, these fuses will get blown because of low amps coming in. A lot of campgrounds, all the power going through, they can't handle the power. Their power grid can't take the amount of power coming through, and low voltage will make your fuses blow. So if you replace a fuse and it does it again, there's a high probability that it's the campground, not your camper. It could be your camper, but most of the time it's going to be the campground. All right, so maybe let someone know so that they can at least be checking it to make sure if it's them or not. Then that way you'll know what your next step would be. You do have another emergency window here. And you've got the storage that you got to outside, you also have in here. So that's what all that is. And you guys, the only other thing I have is you have your second AC here. Now, I'm kind of nervous to turn it on because you have a 50 amp unit because of the two AC units. I'm only plugged into 30 amps. I don't have 50 amps to plug into. So if I turn this on, I got the other AC running, so I'm going to try it and make sure it's going to be okay. But you're just going to turn this. And it's going to come on. Okay, and then you got the open there, shut. These come open. You can do the direction however you want the air to blow on you. Me, personally, I like it blowing right on me, but there you go. There's those. Okay? I think we're going to turn the light off and shut the door. But I think that's it, you guys. I think I've gone over everything I'm supposed to go over. If you have any questions, give me a call. You have my number. And I think that's it. The last thing for me to do is I'm going to shut all the doors, turn off all the lights, shut everything down, drain the water out of all the tanks. Because again, we have a full fresh tank. We have water in the black, gray 1 and gray 2, so we're going to empty all that out. So when you get the unit, it's going to be empty of water. There's not going to be any in here, so keep that in mind. I think that's it. That's it. All right, you guys, enjoy. I hope you love it. It's such a nice unit. It's such a good floor plan. Okay? Have a good day, and let me know when it gets to you. All right? See you later. Bye.